Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, serial killers. They're some of the most infamous people in history, but are they dying and a dying breed? Rex Heuermann, accused of murdering at least 3 women in what's become known as the Gilgo Beach killings, was found by police largely because of modern computer and cell phone technology. It would seem as technology becomes more advanced, it's getting harder and harder to get away with murder. Joining us to talk more about this is criminal defense attorney and NewsNation legal analyst Sara Azari. Sara, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Great to be with you, Nick.
Sara, I started this piece by talking about John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, some of the names that we know who did not have the burden of having cell phone technology tracking their moves. Sara, is it true that the prevalence of serial killers is declining in the U.S.? And do you think the reasons it's because of modern technology?
Yeah, so I think it's definitely declining. When you look at the statistics, there's still over 200,000 cold cases to be resolved, but it's declining. But then we have the psyche is still there. The antisocial disorder that leads to murdering is still at the core of the problem of killing. But we now have mass murders on the rise. And you're correct, technology has a lot to do with it, but there's other factors too. First of all, through history of learned vigilance, right? The social media has sort of upped the BOLO factor. Law enforcement resources are extended to regular people who get to identify people that are on the run or that are, we have a sketch of, for example. There's extraordinary advances in DNA that we can't forget about. And then, like you said, there's an abundance of digital footprint by way of our cell phone, by way of the OnStar technology in our cars. You leave your house and your neighbor has a Ring camera. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. So technology definitely is a big part of why serial killers may not be, as out on the loose as they used to be.
And even as many as cameras as we have here in the U.S., we know that in the U.K. they have 3 times as many. But let me ask you this, Sara, when we talk about that, are serial killers giving up because of that technology, or is it possible that they too are changing their tactics and operating in a way that's just more subtle?
Yeah, see, it's an interesting question. I mean, I'm not a profiler, but I would bet that they don't just wake up one day and stop killing. This issue is obviously on the table now with Rex Heuermann, and there's this 10-year gap from the last murder associated with him to today. And the question is, did he just stop, or this investigation might uncover other murders? And I would submit the latter, but I do think that it's definitely a deterrence, knowing that you could very easily get caught. You have to also remember that unlike mass killers, serial killers are very secretive in their murders. Mass killers do a manifesto, are out there almost crying out to be caught, and serial killers have a darker sort of, secret manner in which they murder. And so this sort of, the technology that we have now, uncovers all of that.
We're talking about how serial killing appears to be lessening, but mass murders, we can see statistically, are on the rise. What do you attribute to that, and is that related to modern technology?
Well, I think, number one, we can't forget we have a gun epidemic. We have very loose gun safety laws in the United States on the federal level, and that is a problem. And I think to some extent, it also has to do with, when you say technology, social media. We typically, with these mass murders, we have manifestos, we have writings, we have some sort of a public outcry associated with them. So, I think it could be both. I think both things could be true.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.